Good morning. Hello, everyone. We are creating with the Christmas Story card kit. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how the card kits work. So when you purchase a card kit, you get enough to make 16 cards. So you get enough to make 4 of each of these designs here on page 22. And so I wanted to show the versatility of a card kit. So you have instructions to make those 4 cards, and I'm going to make 4 different cards for you so that you can see how to use it maybe a little differently. We are still using the same paper, so it is lending a Christmas theme. I think I might have put a Christmas in. I tried to do a little happy birthday look to it, or you could do thinking of you, any of that type. So let's get started and create some fun cards. So we've played with this stencil, and I thought I had it on my workstation, but I put it away. How thoughtful of me to put it away. So this is an embossing folder that comes with 2 stencils, and we played with this a lot, had lots of fun in the Christmas card class. But this is Minc paper that I've embossed on the dark side. Here is the light side of that. I'm going to turn my light on just in case, you guys. The sun is shining, but you never know. So this was lots of fun. And I knew what look I was going for this card, but I wasn't really sure which way I was going to do it. So I've dried embossed this using my machine. And I was thinking that I wanted to put tone on tone. So I thought I'd do Minc on Minc. And this is my practice one. And I really wasn't liking, that's not what I was going for. That's not the look I really wanted. So let me show you trying to grab a piece of scratch paper here. The look I was going for. I wanted the white core to come through. So this is an old product. This is a sanding block that we've had for years. But any type of fine grit sandpaper, can you see what it's doing to the cardstock? It's distressing it in an elegant way, if you understand that termage. Now, depending on how you do it, depends on what your look is, just like sponging. If you're heavy-handed or if you use a thicker sandpaper, you're going to have more of a distressed look. And I think that is pretty much what I want. So I wanted it to have that fun little look. And that's just a really fun, simple way. And it is what I wanted was this look versus this look, if that makes sense. So let me grab some card base here. So I've done some of the prep already for my card, but I'm going to start with this one. And so I have a piece on the back side. This is different paper, but you have the black, the pattern paper and red dot on the other side. So it's going to sit there. I know I want to put some ribbon. So I'm just going to cut some ribbon. So I know I have that. And then let's see what else I want here. Yeah. So I'm going to anchor the red down to my card front. Just kind of in the middle there, give or take. And then I'm going to place this, and I use a glue dot. Let me see if I can find my big glue dot. Nope. This one. And I am just going to take my non-sticky scissors. And I like a glue dot because it holds the ribbon tight. So let me lift this up so I make sure I do this properly and that it's even when I put it over. So it isn't going to hold it perfectly, but it's enough to tack it down. And now I can add this to my card front. Let me add some adhesive to it. And then I know that it's going to stay in place. And I always go over, even though I have a glue dot, I always go over the spot where I put that, just to give it double sticky when you have it on your page. So voila, okay? So then I have, of course, this set comes with that little craft jar. So let's get that craft jar stamped. And I thought I had it on a block, but I do not. And I've used this one, so I gotta remember, I'm trying something new here, and so I gotta stay within a certain verbiage, I think, here. Sorry if you missed something prior. I'll try to be better. And I need some black ink. So remember, when you're inking, just to press on there. Don't press hard, just lightly, and then twist, tap, tap. And that'll hopefully help you from getting any lines on your block. And then that way it gives you owies on the look you want. And then also on this one, there is a, let me grab, I thought I brought this down. I did. Inside the jar, there's this like little ribbon that goes in the space of your jar, and you can leave it plain, you can do it, you know, however you want. I'm going to take some Scarlet ink, and I'm just going to place it there in the middle. Voila! So we have that. Okay, so, and then I cut, because this is a thin cut, and I love the thin cuts, I used some sage, some rosemary, some red glitter, just to give it a little pop. And I am also going to take our white gel pen, and I'm just going to kind of accent and going with the curve of the leaves. It's, you know, it's not rocket science. It's just a little fun little definition, just to add texture, if anything. to your leaves. So let me bring that up so you can see it. Can you see that? There you go. Okay. All right, so I am going to build my leaves before I put my jar down. How does that sound? Okay. So let me get over here to my all-purpose mat to add the glue on. And I use both light and dark so there's the dark, there's the light. You can kind of see the difference. Same with the spruce branches. And I already know I don't need this tail, so I'm going to trim that off. Oops. Add that. And then I liked this in the red glitter, this little berry doodad. Oops. And again, just going to add actually, I think I'm going to tuck it over this way because I'm going to add one other little thing. Because sometimes we have people who have birthdays in the holidays. And in one of my old sets, I found a candy cane. Yes, I had to fussy cut it. Sorry. But I thought, oh, that kind of adds to the fun of the jar. Then I'm just going to make sure, see, I want that candy cane up a little bit higher. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some thin foam tape on my jar just to hold it in place. Just like that. And I am going to come back out that way. I think that's a better look. Sorry for if I made you sick on the first one, but. And then, you know, we have that wonderful tag special from me to you. And they have, if you, and the special is got cute little stamps in there, and this thin cut is in our core book. So it's not part, yes, it's part of the special, but it is also available all year long. And I used this little thin cut because I thought it was a cute little tag, and I didn't want to add any more circle. So I just stamped a happy birthday, and I'm just going to put it on a diagonal like this. And then I've had some leftover gray ribbon from years past, and I'm just going to tie a really tiny bow, maybe. My fingers aren't working too good today. I don't know about you, but it is dry weather here, and my eczema is having havoc with my hands. Okay. Let's try this again. And I like you know, I don't want it to be big and bulky. It's just a little showpiece. If you want to put a gem there, put a gem there. That's no big deal. I just thought it would be fun to have a little ribbon. It's always festive to have a ribbon. We have a lady in class who doesn't like ribbons. She'll put a gem, or she'll put a knotted, and that's fine. That's whatever. I don't care. Whatever. It's your cards. You need to make them unique to you and what you like. And I'm fussing with this bow too much. And you don't want really long tails on this because, one, you don't want it to take away from the birthday. But see, it's too squishy for me. It's not squishy enough, I should say. Make it tight and then bring it in. Again, fussing with the bow. There we go. A little better. Is this my big one? Yep. So this is just a fun, hopefully that you see that this is a different way to use that stamp set and not have to keep it so Christmassy. Okay, there's your first card. Whoop, whoop, yay. Okay, so let's talk about the second card we got going here. So, this piece is 2 by 4, and this piece is 3 1/4 by 4. So 2 by 4, 3 1/4 by 4. And I am going to go ahead and anchor the darker piece, this piece here, to my card. And it is going to be a top fold card. No, yes, it's going to be a top fold card. Had to think about that. So let me add adhesive here. So it's going to go like that. On this piece, I'm going to grab my little scratch paper back with the sand on it, because I am going to wet emboss. So I'm taking my little pillow puff and just lightly rubbing it and wiping the excess off. And I'm doing that because I am going to wet emboss. So I am going to take a Versamark ink pad. So a Versamark ink pad like this. And I'm carefully walking it across. And I'm just going to center it and lightly press and lift up. And I know you cannot see that on there. Let me see if I lift it, if you can see the word love. And then I'm going to take some, well, here, white embossing powder. And I like just, these cheap dollar store coffee filters work best. And I'm just pouring that on there, and then I'm gently tapping, because you don't want any excess. Now, if you didn't use your powder puff, then you're going to have to take like a paintbrush or something to that effect that can get the extra powder off, so it doesn't stick. Because once you put heat to this, because we're going to heat that powder up and melt it, you're going to want to make sure that you don't have any extra pieces. So I'm taking that little ribbon piece and putting it down. Careful not to touch what I've already got powder on. if you're new to this kind of stuff, then you probably want to do, I would have heat embossed the love before I did the second piece. So again, sorry, I did it off camera. I gotta get better about that. And then I just pour that excess back into the jar and toss my little coffee filter. I like it because it's bendable and movable. And then I'm going to start up, and I'm sorry for the noise, but I'm starting up my heat embossing tool because it works better if it starts getting warm. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really sandy looking. So hopefully you will see the difference. Some people like going from down below underneath. You can do it either way, but the embossing powder grips to that, to the Versamark ink pad, and you need to have a Versamark to do. Can you see how that's changing? The E is still a little bit grainy, but everything else is starting to get melted. And I'm just trying to make sure I got all my spots. And as easy as that, that is heat embossing. And then you just want to let it cool for a little bit. So I'm going to stick this over here. And let me show you what I did for the finished product. So I again stamped my jar. Just use the pine glitter paper and a pine strip here. And then these are old, but I just thought I liked that little, it was a little too blah by itself, and I liked the way it looked adding these little snowflakes. Now maybe you want hearts or anything. You could do whatever you want as far as the look in your jar, but I just thought it was fun that pine plays off the green. Again, this time I didn't use the white pen. I just wanted to keep it with the embossed look like that. Okay, so our next card is going to have, you're going to have 3 pieces. So you're going to have a 1 3/4 by 4 2 times, 1 3/4 by 4, and then 1 1/2 by 4. And you're going to adhere this to the front of your card base. And again, this is going to be a top fold card, okay? So your pieces, you're going to start with your outside pieces. Can you see that? And try not to make the bird stand on its head, but sometimes the way the paper's cut, your bird has to stand on its head. And then for this one, I like to do both ends. I find that's easier for me. And then put this one in between so it's even. So as simple as that. That's a fun pattern. Great way to use different strips of, our paper mixes with other paper, so it's a really good use for that. And then, I don't know if you guys saw this scallop circle frame in our core book. I've been dying to use it, and so I went ahead and cut, and I took the center out. It's 2 pieces, a piece of Harbor. So I'm going to anchor that. And because they're oops, I can't do that yet. I got to put my strip down. I got to put my Harbor glitter down first. And I love, oops. I love this Harbor glitter. Paper. And then I wanted to keep with that kind of wood theme that's going on this card. It's a little bit darker. I did a piece of toffee. Just a strip of toffee. Even that up a little bit. Okay. Now I can anchor my scallop circle. And I am going to take our sage ink. Sage is one of those colors we forget to add it to our fun. And I grabbed I thought I had it on a block, but I don't. I grabbed an old Joy that you could, but you can put anything. You can put happy birthday. You could, you can do whatever you want. And again, just laying on there, twist on it, and then just kind of center it on that square so you have a nice impression. Be sure and use your foam that comes with your stamp sets. And see, I really like that sage with this paper. I thought it was a great choice. And I am going to add some thin foam to this. I like the thin with cards just because it gives you it's not so thick you can still get it through the mail. You just have to be a little bit careful. And it kind of depends on where you're mailing from. I think that's part of it too. So, so I'm just gonna rip this up really quick. And again, this is what's fun about creating cards. It takes a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and you have a card. Woo, got that before it stuck. Now the big key is to get it on there straight. All right, so you have it looking like that. But let's add some, if I can find them. Thought I had them on my workbench, but you should see my workbench. It looks like a zoo hit it right now, because I've been trying to play catch up and get some other stuff done. Well, isn't that bizarre? It's probably right in front of me. You guys would be laughing. Yep, see, it's right there. Oh, nope. But that's okay. These will work. And let's just put a couple, 3. I'm going to try the pickup tool. Just putting them, just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. That's pretty cool. I like it. I love the Harbor. I thought the Harbor was a really good, and same with the sage. I thought it was a nice extra touch to that paper. Okay, last but not least, let's have some fun and let's create a fun card. Okay, so again, we need a card base. And let me tell you your measurements. This is going to be a side fold card, so that's fine, no big deal. So let me get the measurements. So you're going to need a piece. It's 3.5 by 4.25. So 3.5 by 4.25. Then this is Harbor, and you're going to need 3/4 by 4.25. A piece of red that is 1/2 by 4.25. And a zip strip or another piece that is 1/2 by 4.25. And then I just have a 1/4 inch of glitter and a smidge of glitter as extra. And then the saying, I have it double mounted. It is 2.5 by 2.5 and 2.25 by 2.25. And I'm using the light and dark of the mink. All right, whew, that was so much. Let's get this anchored down because I know I can anchor this. I know better than glue on my Versamat. I need to go to my all-purpose mat. Okay, so that's at the top. I'm going to get my piece of Harbor, and I'm actually going to use the light side. And on this fun stamp set that I can't find on my desk, just a moment, it's here, I know it is, because I just used it. Here it is. See, I knew it was here. So this Christmas Story card making stamp set, I'm taking this star. I think it was, I really liked that cute little look that it brings to a card. And so I'm just going to place this on a block as soon as I find a block. Don't need the Versa ink. And I'm going to grab my scratch paper just so you can see, I think, a little better. Because it might be hard to see. And there's no right or wrong way with this. I'm just kind of variegating them up. Just play with them. They're fun. Isn't that cool? So then you get that little border that adds some accent and texture to the front of your card. Sometimes you don't have enough paper, but you can create something fun by using just cardstock and ink. We forget that we have all these fun things to create with. So let's okay, so that I know is going to the bottom of my card. So I'm going to anchor it to the bottom of my card. And then I can build my middle. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I think it looks really neat. So let's do our bigger. This is where I put my bigger gold. And again, I'm gluing on my Versamat instead of my all-purpose mat. I know better. Gets me in trouble every time, and then I'm taking forever trying to get it undone. And then this piece, and sometimes with glitter it's hard to get it to match all the way, but it did pretty good there. And then the zip strip, And so I did the top piece a little longer in case you didn't have the glitter. But it is strictly up to what you want to put to your page. And then I'm just adding that little pop of glitter just right there, just to anchor that all down. And I didn't cut that right, so let me get that. Sorry about that, guys. I just need to trim this up a little bit on my big cutter because my scissors got a little wonky. Okay, so we have that. We're going to set that aside. And I went ahead, and this is one of those cute little tags out of the From Me to You. I love it. It looks old-fashioned. When you stamp it, it gives you that old-fashioned look. And to tie in the gold, I'm going to take our paint pen, shake it up, make sure I have juice in it, and I'm just going to run the edge. Pull it towards you because you have a better control. And all it does is adds a really faint gold line. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe you can see it up like this. Can you see that? Is that a better? And then I'm going to take the dark side of the mink and do the same thing. Just run it. And it's really faint. It's just enough of a pop that I find it really grounds your image, if that makes sense to you guys. And I am just going to mount this. And again, I'm going to take some thin foam tape. I'm on a roll with it today. And just add this to my card, to the bigger piece. And then let's adhere this down in the middle like that. And then also, let alone that Stampin' Thin Cut for this kit comes with this amazing little bow. I think it is so stinking cute. We are just going to add a glue dot to it. And I did it in scarlet, so it has a little bit of that red, so we're not forgetting it. And then I'm just going to put it off to the side like that. Voila! So there's that card. There's the joy, the love, and the happy birthday. So I guess I didn't do all birthday, but you can play with it and make it work for you. Now this kit is going away when this catalog retires, which is December 31st. So if you think you're gonna want it for the branches or the bow, you might want to grab it before it gets away from you. So anyway, don't forget the embossing folder too. Bye guys, have a great one.